What is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing my top trade targets at the running back position for 2022 Dynasty Fantasy Football. Inside today's video, I'll be going in depth into 3 different running backs that I believe you guys should be looking to trade for right now before it is too late. But before we can get into things, I would like to ask, if you are new to the channel and you do end up enjoying today's video, to please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. And while you're down there, whether you are new to the channel or not, please make sure that you hit that like button down below. It would help us out a ton. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, please do so at NotoriousFNTSY. So without further ado, let's get into my top 3 trade targets at the running back position for 2022 Dynasty Fantasy Football. We begin with David Montgomery, running back of the Chicago Bears. Right now, he is listed as keep trade cuts running back number 19. So that is around where he would be going if you were doing a Dynasty draft today. Right now, David Montgomery is currently 24.7 years old, so he's going to be turning 25 relatively soon, but that doesn't mean he's some old fuck, right? He's still just 24, 25 years old, so David Montgomery has a nice career ahead of him. Last year in 2021, he was the running back number 21 in half PPR on the season and running back number 15 in terms of half PPR points per game, tied with Ezekiel Elliott as well as Damian Harris. Now, last year, David Montgomery did end up only playing in 13 games, which is why I like to really hone in to kind of use that measurable of half PPR points per game, because he didn't play the whole season. That's obviously why he didn't finish as well as his half PPR points per game finish. Again, he was tied with Ezekiel Elliott and Damian Harris as the running back 15 in half PPR points per game. Last year, he had 225 rushes, 17.3 per game, ranking 9th at the running back position, 225 carries in just 13 games. If he played 17 games, obviously would have finished a lot higher at the running back position. 849 rushing yards, 65.3 per game, ranking 17th at running back, 51 targets, 3.9 per game, ranking 23rd, 42 receptions, 3.2 per game, ranking 16th, 301 receiving yards, 23.2 per game, ranking 23rd at running back. Now, maybe things will change and David Montgomery could get a slight tick up in terms of receiving value, but David Montgomery is no Christian McCaffrey. He's no Austin Eckler. He's no Alvin Kamara. He's not a running back that is going to go out there and miraculously get a very high uptick in terms of receiving production. Is he a good receiving back? Yes. But is the team going to really lean on him to do that? I personally do not believe so. He had 7 total touchdowns on the year, ranking 21 at the running back position. But things are going to look drastically different in 2022 compared to 2021. They finally fired the dumbass Matt Nagy. They finally got rid of him. So I believe that this new kind of regime in Chicago is going to be a lot better for David Montgomery. We've seen David Montgomery perform at a solid level when Nick Foles was playing, when Justin Fields was playing. We've seen him perform with Mitch Trubisky. So even if Justin Fields doesn't necessarily take this miraculous leap up to the next level, I really do believe David Montgomery is going to be a great running back going forward. And if the Bears defense maybe looks a little bit better this season and they go back to their ways of looking like one of the best defenses in the NFL, and if the offense is able to actually put up some points, then they are going to be looking to run the rock a lot late in the game. I think the Chicago Bears team is going to look a lot better this season. I do believe, though, that Justin Fields will take that leap, that next step up, thus helping David Montgomery out a ton. Again, David Montgomery, a lot of his value hinges on the fact that he is going to be seeing a lot of rushing attempts and not a lot of receptions, so that may worry some people because of how valuable in a half PPR, full PPR format that a reception is for the running back. But again, he's still going to see 50, 60, maybe even 70 targets if he's able to stay healthy, and we do see him get a couple more targets. So I think David Montgomery is going to be a very reliable running back going forward, and he is a guy that I would be liking to trade for a ton. Again, only 25 years old, only been in the league for a couple of years, and I think he is the running back, the franchise guy for the Chicago Bears going forward. Next up, we move to Cam Akers, running back of the Los Angeles Rams. Keep trade cut currently has him listed as the running back number 18. He is 22.7 years old, turning 23 relatively soon. Now, in 2021, there aren't too many stats to necessarily dive into because he only played in 1 regular season game after tearing his Achilles. Somehow, this motherfucker must just be built like Wolverine because he was able to return after getting hurt relatively close to the start of the 2021 NFL season, tearing his Achilles, and he came back. Now, I would technically call Cam Akers a key piece in their playoff push, or in their playoff kind of run all the way until winning the Super Bowl. Now, was he necessarily the same Cam Akers we saw down the stretch of 2020? No, he was far from that. But coming back from the injury, he still did look solid. I understand he had those fumbling issues up against the Buccaneers in the playoffs, but I was pretty impressed based upon what I saw from Cam Akers, but the numbers obviously are not going to align with some elite level running back for Cam Akers. In the playoffs, he was really utilized like the clear lead back when we've seen Darrell Henderson, we've seen Sony Michel be kind of solid in this offense, but at the end of the day, when push came to shove, when they're in the Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year, they're still hinging upon Cam Akers, and I do really believe in 2022 as well as going forward that Cam Akers is going to be the lead back on the team. During the 2020 season, he became that number one guy, that workhorse running back on the team from week 13 onward, and it is very easy to see the flashes that he showed in 2021, and it is very easy, in my opinion, by just flipping on the tape again, looking at the analytics isn't necessarily going to help you build up this crazy narrative towards why Cam Akers could be a top 5 running back in fantasy football going forward, but I believe if you flip on the tape, you actually watch the games, you can see that in 2020, Cam Akers has a ton of talent. You could have seen it coming out of college as well. I think in his third season, really his second season, because last year, he only played in one game, played in a couple of playoff games. I think that Cam Akers is going to be legitimate. And again, only 22.7 years old. Some people might worry about the injury narrative. They might shit themselves because, oh, when you tear your Achilles, you can never come back and be the same thing. We're talking about modern medicine nowadays. I think Cam Akers will be just fine. I read a couple of things from some doctors that say the exact same thing. Now, again, I make this note in every video. I'm as much of a doctor as Johnny Sins, but at the end of the day here, I'm going to go ahead and kind of plant my flag on Cam Akers and tell you guys just how confident I am that he is going to be a lead running back in 2022 and going forward for the LA Rams. And this Rams team, it's not like everything's just going to fucking crumble, right? I understand that they don't have a lot of draft picks going forward, but they have one of the best teams in the NFL. They were the best team in the NFL in 2021. I think they keep that rolling. Will they win the Super Bowl? Who really knows? It's very hard to two-peat in the NFL, but I do believe that Cam Akers is the guy there, and I think that Cam Akers does have a ton of fantasy value. The final player to discuss in today's video is running back of the New York Jumbo Jets. Running back Michael Carter, keep trade cut running back number 25, 22.8 years old. Funny because Cam Akers, this was his second year in the NFL, going on his third year. He's 22.7 years old. Michael Carter, rookie year last year, sophomore year this year, or this year technically in 2022, just 22.8 years old. So he's technically just about a month older than Cam Akers, and Cam Akers has a quote-unquote extra year under the belt. How much do you want to put weight into that? Not much, because last year wasn't much of a season for Cam Akers. So in 2021, going into the season, I was really beating the drum for Michael Carter. I was so excited for Michael Carter to just get into New York with Robert Saleh, the new head coach. They bring in Zach Wilson. I'm thinking all of the dots are going to connect, and Michael Carter could potentially take over very early as the lead running back on the team. Now, I wasn't talking about week 1 up against Carolina, that Michael Carter was going to be this smash start. No, I said you want to go ahead and ease him in. I think the team will ease him in, but maybe by week 5, week 7, after their bye week, in week number 6, that we are going to be seeing Michael Carter potentially come out the gate and look hot. And we did see at points in the season that they really did commit to Michael Carter as the lead running back on the team. And I believe if Robert Saleh wants to go ahead and win some football games, that Michael Carter will be the lead back in 2022. Now, is he going to go ahead and be a workhorse running back like a Christian McCaffrey, like a Saquon Barkley when healthy, like one of these running backs that is just the head honcho running back on their team, that is a clear workhorse running back? Probably not. But at the end of the day, Michael Carter is going to be seeing a lot of usage, and he is also very, very talented at catching passes. He had a game in week number 8 up against the Cincinnati Bengals. This man had 14 targets and 9 receptions, so he is clearly very talented when it comes to using his hands to catch the ball, something that is obviously a plus when you're playing in a half PPR or full PPR format. So last year, he did only end up playing in 14 games. A lot of those games, though, he was not the starting running back. He was running back number 29 in 2021 in the half PPR format, and running back number 36 in half PPR points per game, tied with J.D. McKissick. He had 147 carries, which is about 10.5 a game, ranking 32nd at running back, 639 rushing yards, 45.6 per game, ranking 28th at running back, 55 targets, 36 receptions, 425 receiving yards, and 4 total touchdowns on the year, ranking 39th at running back. Again, I understand that Michael Carter isn't going to be this workhorse running back that's playing 80, 90% of the snaps, but if he's just playing 60, 70% of the snaps for the Jets, and this team does not necessarily take this colossal leap, right? The Jets, they're not going to be amazing this year, but if they're able to look a little bit better, if Zach Wilson is going to be looking like Zach Wilson from the end of the season compared to the beginning of the season, I think this Jets team could be not a legit contender, but a team that wins maybe 8 potential games on the year. So I do like Michael Carter a lot. I see him as a very viable running back in terms of fantasy football in the half PPR and full PPR format. If you are playing in a standard league, then I'm not as excited about Michael Carter. So thank you guys all so much for watching today's video. If you guys have a running back that you're looking to trade for in your 2022 Dynasty Fantasy Football Leagues, let me know down below in the comment section. We can have a nice chit chat down there. I love all of you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your guys' day. If you did end up enjoying, please make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And as always, guys, make sure you have a great rest of your guys' day. As always, good boy.